Well, in our first story, power outages are expected in parts of the country as independent power producer Sonon Asogli says it has been forced to shut down its plant over unpaid debts. Other power producers, TV3 News understands, have expressed similar concerns, with government set to engage a chamber of power producers to halt similar actions to avert power outages in what could equally affect power supply in some parts of Accra. The Electricity Company of Ghana is embarking on planned maintenance today. Now, areas said to be impacted the most include Jowulu, Alajo Town and Abelimpe. Now, let's move on to some education-related stories now. And hundreds of potential senior high school students still face placement challenges. Now, many applicants and their parents were at the Nat Hall in Accra in a desperate bid to secure a senior high school spot. Here's a report.
It's been barely 2 weeks since placements were released for prospective senior high school students. And although students are to report to school effective December 4, behind me are a myriad of parents who have come with their wards as a result of various placement challenges.
We chose the residency to be boarding, but they were given day, and looking at the distance, we had to come here and make sure the school is changed. We are coming from Tema, but the school is given at Adan Senior High. And that's very far, so we are here to change the school as well.
Well, here at the Nat Hall, challenges such as no placements, change of school, change of status, that is from boarding today or vice versa, and change of program are being resolved. And evidently, the number of people here are overwhelming. Well, despite the fact that there are no continuing students in school as of now, and amidst the various challenges you can see here at the Nat Hall, students are still supposed to report at their various senior high schools today. Some here believe that this is unfair.
You cannot say you've released the results last Tuesday that just passed, and you expect us to go to school just today. You know that the economy is in a bad state, and you know that nowadays in this era, just to get money is very difficult. You have to work hard.
For many, the process is hectic, and hopes of getting their problem solved are bleak.
The books where we are supposed to select the schools from are limited. So it's like we are in a queue waiting for books to select schools for him, which is also wasting our time. Actually, we are also workers, we work. So we have to go and then we have to do this fast and then go and follow our works.
Judith Brown, TV3 News, Nat Hall, Accra.
Now, the introduction of a standard and uniform prospectus by the Ghana Education Service has been lauded by parents. They say the removal of some items has helped cut costs they would have ordinarily incurred.
It was all joy for most of the first-year students who are eager to begin their senior high education journey as they report to school on Monday, December 4. Hundreds trooped to Kumasi Secondary Technical School to register. Parents were satisfied with the arrangement and the move by GES to review the prospectus.
For those years back, the items that we were putting in were not too much. But so far, I think we shall manage it.
At Sekafia Islamic Senior High, most students are yet to report, but parents were in to check and pick up the admission letter of their children.
We are fully prepared for them. We are in school, everything is ready, everything for them. In fact, they've also started coming.
But at the Kumasi Technical Institute, where a solution center has been set up by the Ghana Education Service to address issues regarding school placement, frustration is written on the faces of parents and their wards. While some want their school changed, others are now fighting for placement. Over 100,000 students did not get placement in any school nationwide.
Parents should exercise a little bit of patience. Every child qualified will be placed. Every child qualified will get a school and study. So we are appealing to them. Today is reopening day. It doesn't mean the door is closed. We are here this week, until last student is placed.
The Ghana Education Service wants parents to show interest and be involved in the selection of schools for their children. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3, Kumasi.
We'll stay on this particular issue, and management of senior high schools have described the December 4 reopening for freshers as untimely and rushed, putting undue pressure on parents, students and teachers. George Queenan and Ivina Kokoi Hesse visited some schools and report.
It is 8 a.m. and 16-year-old Bettina Akakoti is reporting to school together with her parents. She selected Accra Girls as her first choice, where she intends to pursue home economics with the aspiration to become a nurse in future. Just like every other parent on reporting day, they have to endure this queue. But her father is concerned about the limited time to put resources together.
These 2 weeks, the provision we bought for them, how are they going to use them? They will come back again to collect another provisions again. That is our headache.
Some parents who said the reported at dawn poured out their frustration because they are still not being attended to.
I've been following up since Wednesday. I was even here on Saturday. I came here today as early as 6:30 a.m., but I've still not been attended to.
As you can see, so you people, you are here. As you can see you. So somebody will leave the house and come here. Me am at Kaswa. Kaswa na mi fina mabaha. Eti up to now, one about yenwushe.
There were those who took advantage to cash in. Accra Girls Senior High School had declared a 600 vacancy to the Free SHS Secretariat. The number could exceed despite limited resources.
We should be given ample time to do all these groundworks, so that when we say we are starting classes, we know which classes they are going into.
Assistant Headmaster Sebastian Akalinya Adama stated that with a limited time, the school can only provide orientation to students without effective academic work.
They say we have to reopen today. Who are we to say no? We just have to do it and then hope that the reality will dawn on the powers that be.
At St. Thomas Aquinas Senior High School, the process was relatively controlled. Eastern Regional Chairman of PTA, Joshua Tekpono, described this year's reopening for freshers as untimely and rushed, putting undue pressure on parents, students and teachers.
I believe it has been a challenge because looking at the time the results were released and the time for the reopening, we believe they could have given us some more time.
This is a struggle parents are going through in order to enroll their wards into institutions they've been placed into, and this cuts across in other second cycle institutions across the country. Josh Quinn, TV3 News, Accra Girls.
Now, unlike many senior high schools, the registration of first-year students at the Infanta Pim School in Cape Coast in the Central Region was seamless. Through a dedicated online portal, the school set up registration desks to easily verify data of students and assign them dormitories. Now, some parents who spoke to the news team hailed management of the school for the smooth process.
As early as 7 a.m., the entrance of many schools were choked. At Infanta Pim School, the news team observed that a dedicated online portal had been created to speed up the admission process. The process included verification of data and allocation of dormitories.
For us, we are doing our registration online. So once you are placed here, give you a link, you go there, do everything there. So as you are coming, you will come and submit your forms. And that is very easy to do because either go to the dormitories or the assembly hall, just submitting the filled forms and that's it. From tomorrow, we're going to have orientation. That's why they will teach them what to do here and how to do our own things.
Parents expressed satisfaction with the process.
My son was awarded general science and we just got in about some 15-20 minutes now. And
everything is moving on smoothly.
There should have been indication on the placement that parents should have gone to their various schools and then perhaps ask of how to get the admission forms and so forth and fill and so forth. There wasn't any indication of that sort.
Also on the issue of the reopening and in Parliament, the Education Minister, Dr. Yao Osei-Adichum, has justified the decision to allow the opening of senior high schools for first-year students less than a week after placements, in spite of a request by the Speaker for an extension of the date. He told Parliament there had been sufficient engagement with the parents, but the minority disagreed with him. Kumla Kluche reports.
So the Speaker, early on Monday, had directed that the Minister of Education, Dr. Yao Osei-Adichum, reports to the House before it's 12:30 midday, or else he would be dragged before the Privileges Committee. Well, shortly thereafter, the minister zoomed into Parliament, readied himself to respond to the several petitions that had come to the Speaker and also to MPs who have called on him to rescind the decision of the Ghana Education Service vis-a-vis the Ministry of Education to have schools reopened on the 4th. But shortly after the back and forth, the minister came under heavy criticism.
I don't believe that the Honorable Minister of Education would disrespect a house that he is a member of. But that's what he has done. Knowing that he has been summoned to appear before us today, what stopped him from waiting instead of asking his PR unit to issue that counter statement, which put Parliament on a collusion course with his ministry? I thought that show of power, that flexing of muscles. The Honorable Minister is my very good friend, and he knows that one of my qualities is that I tell my friends the truth, and I tell them in their face. So I thought that the Honorable Minister will explain to us why he did what he did.
If we have them that they about 10% or 20% are reported, then we may have a cause to complain. But not when the students are already in school. Do we want the minister to direct the Ghana Education Service to now call the students that they should come back home and then we give another time for them? Mr. Speaker, this will lead to absurdity. I don't think we need to disturb the academic calendar, especially when the minister has said that we would want to go to the pre-COVID session.
Well, eventually, the minister justified the reason why he had to insist on the reopening of the schools on December 4th.
As at the time of placement release, 477,772 candidates, representing 81.56% of the students who qualified for placement were automatically placed. For the first time, the Ministry of Education, with its relevant agencies and stakeholders, developed a national harmonized prospectus for all senior high school and TVET students. And the same was published in the Daily Graphic on November 15th, 2023. The purpose of the publication was, among other things, to give parents ample time to buy the prospectus items and get their hours ready for school on December 4th, 2023. Since the introduction of the double-track calendar in 2018, a lot of teaching and non-teaching staff have been employed to lessen the workloads in our schools. As a matter of fact, the majority of teachers are only at post when a particular track is in session. So, Mr. Speaker, it cannot be true that all teachers have never had any rest since the double track was introduced, as alluded to by my honorable colleague.
The Speaker of Parliament then indicated that there was little that Parliament could do.
We can no longer insist that the 4th December date be shifted to the first week of January. That today be shifted when the students are in school to the first week of January. We'll take it as it is, but we will ask the ministry together with GES to take this into consideration and not to insist that the students and parents should comply with some of the requirements within this shortest possible time. They should give them enough room to be able to fill in seamlessly so that we can have a smooth academic year.
Komla Kluche, TV3 News, Parliament House, Accra.
Meanwhile, the Education or Executive Director for EduWatch, Kofi Asari, says although the Education Ministry's quest is to realign Ghana with other West African countries, it is imperative to ensure that parents and guardians are not left in a fix.
Last year, schools reopened in February. Okay, schools reopened I think on 20th February. That was the reporting date. So if we are reporting on 4th December this year, it tells you that about 6 weeks deficit has already been chopped off. And that's a significant gain we must be proud of. Between 20th of February to 4th of December, it's actually almost 2 months. Almost 2 months. And we must be proud of the gains we've made. That's why I'm saying that we are all sacrificing. But by 2025, when we are able to start our academic year in September and write WASSCE in June, everybody will have a much more predictable academic calendar to plan with, especially our teachers who have been working under very, very, very stressful circumstances, especially those who are teaching certain subjects in double track schools, and also parents. But until then, we must appreciate that the main beneficiaries of resetting our academic calendar to the pre-COVID levels will be the students themselves.
Now, away from education, the Office of the Attorney General says it is determined to combat illegal mining through effective prosecution of its perpetrators. The declaration by the Deputy Attorney General and Minister of Justice Alfred Tuah follows the Accra High Court's sentence of Chinese national Aisha Huang to a 4-year and 6-month jail term for various mining offences.
Aisha Huang was slapped with the charges of undertaking a mining operation without a license, facilitating the participation of persons engaged in a mining operation, illegal employment of foreign nationals, and entering Ghana while prohibited from re-entry. She admitted to the offense of entry while prohibited from doing so. For the other offenses, she maintained her innocence, causing the state to call more than 10 witnesses to prove the case. The court concluded that the evidence shows she had engaged in illegal mining and destroyed the environment. It also noted that she had not been truthful, as she had at various times used different names and referred to different men as her husband. She was therefore sentenced to serve a 4-year, 6-month jail term. She's also to pay a fine of 48,000 cedis and is to be deported after serving the term. Deputy Attorney General Alfred Tuah is satisfied with the decision of the court.
If you arrest someone and you charge him for committing an offense some time ago, if you are able to prosecute him successfully and he's to be sentenced, the sentence then should be the sentence that you can use. You cannot use the new regime. And so far the sentence then was to the fact that the maximum of 5 years, we think that's the right position of the law. We can also not amend our constitution at this stage, but that's the law even worldwide. At the time you commit the offense, the punishment there is what you are supposed to be given when you are convicted for that offense. We are aware of it. That's why we came to court, and we knew that the maximum that we could get would be 5 years.
He maintained his office will go after other illegal miners.
She's someone that has gotten her name in the media a lot. Today, she's come to the end of the road. We're able to successfully prosecute her. She's going to spend 4 years, 6 months in custody. It should be a lesson to the others that you may be engaging in illegal mining, but when your time comes, the law will deal with you in accordance with what we've had. So it's a fight that we have not won. It's a fight that is a continuous one. As I just said, we all need to take part in the fight. Aisha is going today. The next time we come to court, if others have committed similar offenses, they also have their day in court.
The High Court is still handling the case of 4 other accused persons who are also facing various mining offenses and are actually alleged to have been employed to engage in illegal mining by Aisha Huang. For TV3 from the Law Court Complex, my name is Joseph Akable.
And that's our wrap up the 6 a.m. news here on TV3. My name is Judith Brown. We'll go for a short break and back with the rest of New Day.